Dominic Dyer has said Boris Johnson's support in getting animals airlifted out of Afghanistan, a claim the Prime Minister denies, will be one of his best legacies. The animal rights activist was brought to tears when discussing the evacuation of cats and dogs from the Nowzad charity in Kabul as he was unable to help people in Meghan Markle's charity. Speaking to ITV's Good Morning Britain, Mr. Dyer said, "People like me and Penn are being called racist because we put animals above brown people. This is disgusting and horrible. We dedicated our time to get people out there, and to me this wasn't the end of it. When we came back from this mission we didn't the Mayhew people hour. This is Meghan Markle's charity. I lobbied for both of them and I couldn't get them out, and it broke my heart, and people contacted me in Afghanistan and they said, 'You've got to come back for us. You can't leave us here.' I didn't know what to do." He added, "Overall what Ken Farthing did and his bravery and courage inspired me and others. We've rescued over 150 men, women and children from that country. I'm not going to be condemned, and I don't want to see anyone be condemning him for what's going on here. This is not pets before people, it's about rescuing people in desperate need, and it's been turned into a political football, and that's the tragedy in my view." The activist continued, "If it wasn't for him, none of those people and animals would have got out of there. I'm hugely grateful and will always be, and the people concerned will be." However, Mr. Johnson said it is total rhubarb to say he intervened to get animals airlifted out of Afghanistan after leaked emails suggested he authorized the controversial move. Accused of lying about his role, the Prime Minister sought to dismiss allegations he personally approved the evacuation. He has repeatedly denied approving their rescue in the final days of the mission, as thousands of people wanting to flee the Taliban were left behind. But a newly surfaced email shared with the Commons Inquiry shows a Foreign Office official saying in August that the Prime Minister had just authorized the animals' rescue. "This whole thing is total rhubarb," the Prime Minister told broadcasters during a visit to Hanson Aggregates in Conwy, North Wales, saying he was proud of the military airlifts. The Prime Minister's official spokesman had earlier said, "It's not uncommon in Whitehall for a decision to be interpreted or portrayed as coming directly from the Prime Minister, even when that's not the case, and it's our understanding that's what happened in this instance. We appreciate it was a frenetic time for those officials dealing with this situation." Asked if he was suggesting the Foreign Office official was mistaken, he replied, "I can't say individually which official, but that's our understanding of what happened." Cabinet Minister Therese Coffey suggested the official had been acting in an unauthorized capacity. The Work and Pensions Secretary told LBC, "I've seen a screenshot of an email. Quite often it's not unusual in Parliament and in government for people to say. For their pet projects the PM has said it's a priority. There are a lot of things we deliver as the government, but the PM had no role in individual evacuations, and the Defense Secretary, Ben Wallace, said he was in charge of the overall rescue operation in that regard." Commons leader Jacob Rees-Mogg described calls for a debate on the issue as fussing about a few animals. Another news, Prince Charles is dreading the moment he becomes king and takes over from the Queen, a royal expert has said. Charles has been heir to the throne for much of his life and has constantly been preparing for the day he finally becomes monarch. However, he will only become king once his beloved mother the Queen sadly passes away. And according to royal biographer Penny Junor, it will be a terrifying prospect for the Prince of Wales. Speaking on podcast Royal, she said, "This is a moment that he has been dreading all his life, really, because his achieving the top job, the job he's been training for and preparing for all these years, does inevitably mean the death of his mother, and he loves his mother very dearly. So it's going to be a very vicious moment, and I think that I am sure that he is pretty terrified of the whole prospect. He is a very emotional man and a sensitive man. He did take the death of his father very badly. He takes the death of any loved one to heart, and I think it's devastating for him as it is for anyone who loses a much-loved mother." Royal author Angela Levin told Talk Radio, "Prince Charles has wanted for a very long time to cut the monarchy down to save costs and to make people be worth the money that they got from the taxpayer. I think the outer edge of the family, which the Queen has wanted to keep together for a very long time for sentimental reasons, which at her age she didn't really particularly want change, which I think is understandable. But he wants to change, and I think he will do that.